Today's a big day. First recording in over how many months? 3 about. So I know a lot of you have been asking for me to record. I'm looking at you, Dr. Hippo Time, and today you're gonna get it. So today is actually a little different. We're gonna be doing web development, which is something that I might switch to because I really, really find it just an incredible code base community, and it's just great. But today we're gonna be working with databases and authentication, which is something that I have been figuring out, and it's really, really complicated. This is a very low level tutorial. This is not for professional use. This is just going to give you the basics of how the database management system works. For the database, we will be using something called Supabase, the open source Firebase alternative. That is not true. It is nothing like Firebase. Firebase is a NoSQL database, which basically means it's a hierarchy of data, just like Unity's hierarchy system. Now, if you don't know what a database is something that stores data. It's just a computer that's sole purpose is to hold information. That's all it's for. And you have to use languages, coding languages, to manipulate that data, to get it, to put data in there, to move it around. It's it's complicated though. Now, there's two ways to do this. There's NoSQL and SQL. There's a bunch of other ways, but those are the two most popular. Facebook was made with actually MySQL. I'm not sure. That's a different one. Anyway, a NoSQL database uses a hierarchy. An SQL database uses a spreadsheet. It's literally a grid. I'll show you. This is our spreadsheet. I'm just going to make a table and show. Actually, you know what? This is going to take too much time. So this is NoSQL. This is an SQL database. Supabase is a NoSQL. Supabase is an SQL database. Firebase is a NoSQL database. That is how this works. So we're actually going to just jump right in, and we're going to make our authentication. So I have a React app running with a server right here. So this is our React app, and I'm now just going to make a few folders. So you don't have to do anything folder specific. If you know how to use React, you can name these folders and files whatever you want. But if you don't, follow my tutorial like the Bible. It will give you what you need to know. So this is for beginners, again, not professional use. So first thing we're going to do is make a folder called pages. Pages is just going to store our 2 pages. We're going to need a home page, and we're going to need a authentication page. We're just going to call it auth.js. And we also need a page containing our database info. So we're going to make a folder for database, and we're going to make a file called database.js. And in our database, we're just going to initialize it. Now, Supabase actually makes a database API, which is just code that you can use in your program, and not anything custom, which is really nice. So I've already installed Supabase, but if you haven't installed that, go to your terminal, copy this, and just put it right there and paste it and run it. Run it by pressing enter. So we've already done that. We're just going to copy all this and initialize our database. So now, first off, do not show these to other people. I can show you this because I'm not actually using this database, but this is your API key. It's very important, and it lets you access your database. If you show this to anyone, they can write it down, copy, paste it, do whatever, and they will have full access to your database. This is your URL. What you really shouldn't show is your API key. I can do that because this is not a database I use, but this is the API key. Anyway, this code initializes our database. Very basic stuff. Just copy this, put your key here, put your API URL here. It's very, very basic stuff. Now, we need to export this variable because we want to use it from other files. So export const Supabase. This is what we have. Now, in our auth.js, we need to import React from React, and we need to, of course, make our React function. So we're going to use a function for this, not a class, because I find functions are a little easier sometimes. So we're going to make an export default function, and we're going to name it auth. And we're going to return a div because I really like using divs in HTML. And we're just going to use a text that says auth page, just to know where our page is. And then in our home page, we're just going to do the exact same thing. We're going to change a few things, though. We're going to name this home, and we're going to name this home page. Now in our app.js, we should probably use a React router. So we really don't need this because this is just, we should actually probably, yeah, we should get rid of all of this code. We don't need it because this is just our app. And if we go here, we have a blank page. We're going to get an error because there's nothing there. So we're going to need to import React router DOM from React router DOM. Actually, we don't import that. We need to import router, and that's it right now. So we need to make a router, and now we should router DOM in Supabase tutorials.src. We should probably install that. So we'll go npm install React router DOM. And now we have our React router DOM. Should probably hide that little button. Doesn't really matter. So we're just going to make, we're going to make that install. We can still code. It'll work. Route. This is going to be a route for our authentication page. We should probably import our pages. So we're going to import auth from dot dash. Oh, I hate typing fast right now. Dot dash pages slash, whoops. Also, I'm using Visual Studio Code as my editor because it's very, very good. You should use this too if you're a beginner or a pro. It doesn't really matter. This is a great editor. From dot dash pages slash home. Now our route needs a few things. Our route should probably have an endpoint because that just will get rid of the error. Now, we're going to get an error still here. We can refresh the page. It does not really matter. We're going to put a few things. So our URL, no, path, right? Is it path or URL? Yeah, path equals dash auth because this is just going to show basically, yeah. Location equals, actually, maybe this might also be off. It does not. We'll just put them both here because why not? And component. This will render our component of auth when we're on the home page. Very, very simple stuff. So if we go to auth, we get another error. Oh, location of undefined. Now, that's really strange. Why is it that this is happening? Hold on. Let's just figure this out. So basically, what I think is going on is I'm not using something right. So let's just Google this real quick. React router DOM. This is very simple stuff. React router DOM. Yes, this is it. So we'll just copy this. These are all the things we need to import. And basically, again, I don't use React too often. I'm more into React TypeScript, but that is a little more complicated. So I decided make this a little easier. Switch. That's what we were missing. So we need a switch. The switches allow us to actually change pages. Switch. And we should make a switch, backspace switch. There. And now we have our path. That's what we need to do. All right. So we don't actually need a component. We can use a component. So it works. Our auth page gives us auth. We also should have a home page. We copy this home and we will render our home page on that. So if we go to our home now, we get home page. This is really good. Now, let's say we are on just an empty page. We will do route path equals nothing. So when our path is equal to nothing, we will actually use redirect. Oh, we can't redirect. Oh, wait, there's a separate component for redirect. Whoops. Redirect. And our redirect is going to have a path of. So whenever we're basically, this is just going to say whenever we don't have a path, or whenever we're at the path of this base of this little, whenever at this path, we will redirect to redirect. Maybe not ref. Is it ref? I think this might be it. Ref. Wait, would it be 2? Ah, that's it. 2 dash auth. And now we can just go this and end it off. And now what should happen is if we're there, it takes us to our authentication page. So we actually have a good setup. Now, I'm not going to work with the CSS styling at all. That is completely up to you guys. But I'm going to just make it functional. That's all I'm trying to do here. So first thing we need is probably an input. And we should actually have 2 inputs. And just for syntax use, we're just going to get rid of all of this. And for our input here, we're just going to use this. Now, these are going to be our user inputs like password and username and password. And then we're going to have a button. And the button is going to be for that's going to be our login. And our button here is going to be for a sign up. And we should actually probably use a tiny bit of CSS there. So you know what? Well, I'm just going to bite the bullet and name this as auth.css. And we're just gonna make, wait. If I put text here, does it make it bigger is the question. I think it does. Test, you know what, login button. It works. Okay, we don't actually need the CSS file at all. All right, I just don't like CSS, to be honest. It just annoys me. So we're just going to paste these. All right, this is going to be our sign up button. So now we can click these buttons. It's very, very rudimentary, basic HTML. So now we should actually import our database. So what we can do is we can import, and we have to put this in brackets because this is not a function we're exporting. We're exporting a const, which for some reason you have to import any const that doesn't say default before it as a in brackets. So we're going to do Supabase from, whoops, that's weird. All right, from dot dash to get out of that page, database. All right, we have our Supabase. Now we should probably make a function for login. So I still use TypeScript syntax when I write functions. That's just a personal preference. You can write this both ways. So we'll actually do one way and another the other way. So we'll go function login. And this is an easy way to write it. The other way that the other way you can write this is const. I'm going to write this for this sign up, up equals this. That is another way you can write a function. I prefer this. It's just preference because I'm very tired of writing function or void before my functions. So we should probably make a few variables first. So we're actually going to import use state. This allows us to edit state variables. And we're going to do const email equals, hold on. We need 2 things. Email, set email equals use state null. Well, actually not null. It's just going to be empty text. We're going to copy this and we're going to put password 2 and set password use state null. Now we're going to make this value. Just copy what I do directly here because this is a little hard to explain. We just need to set the value to email here, and on change we need to actually we need to actually put an e here, because this is also a function, and then we're going to do set email. We don't actually need those curly brackets. Set email dot target dot value. And this will basically set our email to whatever is in this text. And just copy all of this and paste it down here and rename everything password that says email. And this way we have a password setter. And this is very, very useful for, it's just very useful. Set password. And the button is going to have a few things. So on, this should probably take in an email and a password. And it should also take in, actually, we don't need use history right now. We can make that on our own. And this is where you put variables for the other syntax of writing a function. And here we're going to go on click equals curly brackets, and then we're just going to put in our function, which is login. Actually, you know what? We have to put E, and then we have to do this. E dot prevent default, just to make sure it doesn't do its normal run function. I don't know why. It's just silly JavaScript syntax, why TypeScript is better. Login, and then we're just going to put in our email and our password. Oh, that didn't spell password. Word. And that is, we're getting an error. Unused expression, 10.3. E.prevent default. Expected assignment function call saw no expression, unused 38. Let's see. You know what? Maybe it's the E.prevent default. We could maybe just try doing this. This will either, because I know this works in TypeScript. So this, yep, it works. All right. So we're just going to copy this. Okay, this is very easy code for anyone who has done JavaScript before, but for people who have never done JavaScript, this is going to make no sense. But that's normal. So just all this is doing is it's saying when we click this button, call this function. So when we click this button, do whatever in here. And this is just saying whenever this is changed, set the email variable to whatever is in this text. So now we're going to do const. Now this is kind of hard to follow. Const error equals. Okay, so this is actually has to be an async function, because when you call Supabase to give you back, say, a user, you have to await it, because you have to wait for Supabase to process all the data, and you cannot just skip past it. So the await keyword right here says, do not run any code until this returns something. So we're no const error, and to pass the await keyword, this has to become an async function. It's just something you have to do. Await Supabase dot auth dot sign in, and we're just going to put email and password, and that is how you make that basic function. And then we can go then just to do some basic keywords. Hold on, let me just figure. Okay, I see. We don't actually need the then. We can use a try catch loop. I can't type today. All right, try. And then catch. We'll make our catch keyword here. Hold on. Catch. And when we catch an error, we're going to, is there an alert? There is an alert. Alert error.message. And that works. And then if we actually get an error, if error, we're going to pass that. So we're going to throw it. Think of it literally like you throw this and this catches it. Throw error. And then if that all works, if we get past all of these checkers to make sure that we've successfully logged in, we will go, we have to import use history too. Use history, right? That's not going to work. Let's see, use history in React. Use history React. Let me just use some basic, I should know this. Use history from React Writer DOM. All right, you know what? We'll just copy that because I don't feel like typing it anymore. Use history. And we should make that a const. Const history equals use history. And if all that works, we will then go console. Actually, no, we'll make it an alert because I don't like using the console right now. Alert log in. That's not how you spell logged. And I don't care how you spell logged right now. And then we're going to go history dot push, and we're going to put in our page we want to go to, which is home. So if we log in, it'll work. If we do not log in properly, this will not work. We can just copy all of this code and put it into sign up, and we'll change this to sign up. And now, in theory, we should have a login page. But again, this is always too good. This is it. So then we need to make this async. page, use history. Ah, so that's the problem. We can only call use history in this function. It's just some silly JavaScript thing. And the way we can get around this is we can import history in our function. So we can go history right here, and everything will still work, but we first have to pass in history when we click the button. And we need to go here and pass in history. And we need to pass in history. And now technically this should all work. So let's put in our password. You know what? Just because this is good, teach password. No, placeholder. Placeholder equals email. Placeholder equals email. And then we'll just do placeholder equals password. Password. And now we have our email and password there. So we're going to put in our email. Let's put in one of my emails. A test email. test@test.com. And we'll put in a password A1B2C3. Login will not work because we do not actually have an email there. Sign up. You can't use capitals, I think. Because I've had this problem with Supabase before, and trust me, it's very, very annoying. Let's just put in anything random. Sign up. Sign up requires... You know what? Just to make this easy, let's actually use their test password in email and see if this works. If it doesn't, we will know that this is something wrong with our actual code. This is something wrong. Oh, what's up?
My hands on for this guy. Don't have any.
Oh, I can't do that right now. I will very soon, okay? Okay, goodbye. 1 second. And sorry, that was a friend. And then we will now put in our password, which will be here, and sign up. Localhost says needs a valid password. So something here is not passing in the password properly. So what we could do is we could console.log this. This is always something that happens. We need to go console.log email password, just to make sure we actually know that we're passing in our email and password properly. And let's now refresh the page and blah, sad, ASD. And then we're just going to see our console and see if we get any. Yes, it works. So we are getting this. Let's see. Does toString work? toString. We don't need that in our login right now. We're just testing here. Login. Sign up. Requires a valid password. Sure. Whatever you need. Here you go.
Hands on.
Okay. Sorry, I have to help little brother with this. Sorry about this. All right. I can't put it on. I can't put your Lego guy together, Nick. Sorry. Sign up requires a valid password. So there's something going on here that I'm missing. And it might be that I didn't use proper syntax when this might be it. So you always have to sometimes put curly braces. That's just something that happens in async functions. I think this is just something I missed. But otherwise, this might work. Okay, sign up. So it works. Okay, that was our mistake. And now let's just put their email and password. So someone@email.com, paste. And then we're just going to put our random password here. Paste, sign up. And it works. Logged in. And we're now on our home page. And that is how you make an authentication. But you know what's really cool? If you go into our authentication table, you can now see we have an email guy. And this verification, we can just disable it real quick because it's very frustrating when you're in development. Disable email verifications there. And if this works right, we now have, a successfully logged in user. And if we log him in, let's just go back to our auth page. Now, this is not storing tokens or anything, which is something we should probably do later. That's our password. And what was our email again? Someone@email.com. Paste and log in. Email not confirmed. So that's a problem. So because we changed this, that's really weird. It does this sometimes on Supabase where it just does not save what you change. And it's very, very frustrating sometimes. But it works later on. Oh my. Oh, yep, it works. It works. So our user, we're just going to delete this user real quick. We're just going to delete him real quick. And let's just sign up. Log in. I should probably change that text. You can change that text yourself though. And we'll go back to our auth page, paste our email, and then we'll get our password back real quick in our API. Let's just go user management, password, copy this, and paste this, and log in. And we're logged in. That's it. And now we have a full authentication system with our users database right here, someone at email.com, who their provider is, when they were created, and when they last signed in, along with the user ID. And that is how you create a basic login system. There's a lot more you could do. You could save the user's login token so that when you refresh the page like this, we need to make it where if you're not logged in, like let's say you're here and you refresh the page, and you are logged in, it redirects you to the home page, and that's using tokens. I'm still learning that stuff, but that is how you do this. Please subscribe, leave a like, and comment. It lets YouTube know I'm someone worth watching if you think I am. And yeah, have a great day, everybody. And now I have to I have to figure out how to stop sharing the video. All right. See you later, guys.